Hello, gaming tankers. I return now with a new video that must begin with the tanker square because it's really important. Tank Jeebus, grant me the strength to accept the things I cannot change for wargaming, make it the rules so they can break the rules. And that definitely is going to be highlighted here in this video because this season has seen three tanks that I have problems with. And we're going to start off with the most recent one and work our way back. The most recent one being the Romanian MLI 84M light tank, or fighting vehicle, if you want to be semi-specific here. Now, the problem I have with this is not only is it an expensive Era 3 premium, it's the fact that it is a premium in general. This tank, in the real world, is kind of an active service vehicle for Romania. It has like almost 173, somewhere, just south of 200 vehicles were produced, kind of implying that they're being used. And premiums tanks usually are kind of like oddballs. Maybe experimental versions or ones with limited production, but not usually seeing active use, sort of, depending on what rule book or which part of the rule book that wargaming's looking at. It's kind of hard to judge sometimes what they do. So I would like to have seen this as a texture tank. I mean, the Romanian line is lacking Era 3, although Wargaming Chicago division has whispered, and this tank implies that yes, that Era 3 Romanian tanks will be coming. Or Czechoslovakian. I don't know, they took the Czechoslovakians for Era 1, they put the Romanians for Era 2, and then left Era 3 blank. So, yeah. And as far as what the tech tree would actually look like if this tank were in it, it doesn't matter. Look at the British line. It can have as many little branches as you want. I mean, the Scorpion 90 leads into the Chieftain Mark 11, so yeah, you got a light tank leading into an MBT, so it doesn't really matter. Sort of things like just stick whatever you can to the line and just have a connecting line to it, so it's fine. And I wish they'd done that here. Have a little, little offshoot. That's fine. But yeah, like and subscribe if you like trying to figure out what wargaming likes to do, and obviously comment down below on your thoughts on the tanks I'll be featuring here. And that's just my thought on the MLI 84M. I think it should be tech tree. I don't think it should be a premium. But now we're gonna go on to a tank that I think should be a premium and shouldn't be in the tech tree. And that tank that I think should be the premium tank is the Object 640 Black Eagle. It concludes the T80 line, and yet only seen twice in 97 and 99 from a company that went bankrupt in 2002. So this was just an experimental concept, a possible upgrade or overall replacement for the T80 line, not really sure, but it was seen twice from a distance at demonstration, and then I don't know, time allowed for this to show up somewhere in some museum, or Wargaming was able to get a chance to at least look at it from, you know, closer than 10 meters away. So good on you, boys and girls and people who don't really like rigid rules. Yeah, this concludes a tech tree tank line for a tank that, for all we know, never even fired its boom snout. So, as far as I'm concerned, I would rather Era 3 have two T-80s than a third, um, well, not a fake tank, but an unproven, an unused tank, a tank that never saw surface. You know what I mean? This is obnoxious. I mean, granted, it was. I'm assuming someone's like, well, it's either this or the T80 UOU .1, where its major upgrade was interior ergonomics, improving crew comfort. I'm making that up. So, this tank, I think, should be a premium tank and shouldn't be part of the tech tree. Because what was it? The final, most upgraded iteration of the T80, or was it supposed to be the tank that was a replacement for the T90s? Competitive company's response to the T90? An alternative to the T14 Armada? I don't know, but they did what they did. And we've gone from an Era 3 fighting vehicle that should be in a tech tree to a to a tech tree tank that should be a premium and not in the tech tree. And should be probably like what? What's going rate for a cheap MBT? What do you say? 15,450 gold base price. Yeah, that sounds about right. So there we go. We've gone from a premium tank that should be a tech tree tank onto a tech tree tank that should be a premium tank. And now I'm going to talk about a tank that shouldn't be in the game at all. It's utterly astounding that this tank is in the game. The tank that shouldn't be in the game, and I'm afraid we're going to have to do some reading and not look at a pretty tank, is the Leclerc T4 Terminateur. And I'm going to skip to the part that just blows my mind. And if I hadn't decided to splurge and buy some gold and then buy the Ultimate Season Pass, I probably wouldn't have noticed nor care. But suddenly I did. I checked out. I did some reading. God forbid we do some reading. And suddenly was like, well, wargaming. Why bother with the rules? Why bother with your limitations you placed in the game? Specifically the eras. Era 1, 1945 1955, or about just almost 1960. Era 2, 1960 to the 1970s. Era 3, 1980 to the 1990s. Why does that matter? Because of this. One such design was revealed to the public in July 2016. In a series of photos approved by technical section of the French Army, STAT, the demonstration vehicle dubbed Terminateur was built by fitting a Leclerc main battle tank with a T4 turret that boasted a massive 140mm boom snout. July 2016. So, Era 4 on the way? Even though there are still kind of limited lines, not a lot of lines, I mean, for Cold War. Yeah, this tank is way too new. It's way too modern. Even if it just is a Leclerc MBT with a 140mm boom snout shoved into the turret and a modified turret. But here we are with one of the most modern tanks. So, screw the rules. I'm like really surprised they went this far into the 2000s. So yeah, more gaming. This season has been interesting, but still wargaming up to their shenanigans. You can't trust them, but you can at least be entertained by them. So yeah, comment down below on your thoughts and what you think of my opinions. I mean, Yeah, I shame on me. I bought the Leclerc T4 Terminateur, which means I am now complicit in this chicanery. But hey, I we have a 2016 tank in a game where almost the next nearest to being the newest tank would be maybe the Dragula. That came out in the early 2000s ish, but that's a heavily modified and upgraded T55, so you can't go, eh, it's too new. It's an old tank with new parts on it. I thought the Challenger 2 was maybe too new of a tank, but hey, this is, I don't, it's one of those things. I mean, according to stats, yeah, it's not that OP, you know? We had to take armor off to fit the boom snout in, which means it's on par with a lot of the MBTs in Era 3, but I mean, this should be like entry level, I guess, or mid Era 4, and yet it's mid Era 3. I I mean, are they just going by like the whole when the whole program started in the 90s? Despite it saying that, in fact, one such design was revealed to the public in July 2016, called the Terminateur. This is just so egregious. I don't know. Rant over. Hope you keep your tracks on the ground and the RNGs in your favor. Catch you in the next one. Bye.